welcome to another episode of The Latest to Admire. Today, I am happy to have a conversation with the band Wolves of Glendale. Thank you so much for being on my show. I'm so excited to be talking with you.
Maya,
What's up, Maya? We're excited to be here. And of course, we should stipulate that we are two-thirds of Wolves of Glendale. This is Ethan, and we've got Tom here as well. But luckily for everybody listening, by far and away, the most annoying member of Wolves of Glendale will not be joining us, and his name is Eric.
trust me, once we get going, you're going to be grateful that Eric's not here, especially after you see clips of him online and you hear what his voice sounds like and his face looks like.
It's crazy. It's like a screeching door.
Have you ever scratched your nails on a chalkboard?
Oh no, but I don't like that sound.
That's exactly what it feels like to be near Eric.
Yeah, in an echo chamber of chalkboards.
Oh. Well, now I feel bad. Now I want to talk to him.
You just want to talk to him solo and we'll get off the call.
Yeah, I'll call. Hold on, I'll give him a call.
We'll get him on.
No, no,
No,
this is all
Eric
said with
is,
love. We love
yeah,
Eric, of
Eric.
course.
He's the sweetest. He's also one of the most talented drummers on the face of planet Earth, and he sends his love. He very much wishes he could be here today. We've been looking very forward to chatting with you.
Yeah, yeah. He did legit feel bad he couldn't make it. So it's just cool that we make him feel worse.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me. I've been so excited to talk with you guys. Um,
Likewise.
thank you. Do you have a specific songwriting process?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a relatively unique one, at least we think so. We write everything together, no matter what, from the ground up, 90% of the time. Maybe sometimes one of us will bring in an instrumental vibe, just like a little verse, chorus, instrumental loop. And then we'll kind of brainstorm from there. But overwhelmingly, we will sit in a room together with our instruments and we'll start jamming on something, or we'll listen to a demo of an instrumental, and then we'll start pitching out jokes. For example, just yesterday, we're pitching a song about a guy that decides to go shark cage diving to try to impress his ex-wife to try to get her back. And then all of a sudden, someone pitches, "What if we do a verse from the perspective of the shark?" And we all start laughing. And generally, if we're laughing, that means we're following the right direction. So we kind of pitch things, we try to make each other laugh, and then that kind of melds its way into a song over the course of a couple hours.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love your music. Is there a song that you had the most fun writing?
Wow.
Hmm.
That's a good question, Maya. I don't know if even got that question before.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever asked that.
And thank you for saying you love our music. That means a lot to us because there are definitely some times where I'm like, is this just really fun for us? So it's always really nice when people know the songs, know the words. Um, I mean, there's definitely just like a special place in all of our hearts, probably for Vaping in Vegas, because we wrote that on the first day that we ever tried writing together. And so there was probably just a, crazy kind of excitement in the air doing that. I just remember that being really fun. Um, but I don't know. Besides that, I don't know. Tom, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, I would totally agree on Vegas. Because when, like Ethan said, when we wrote that, I had never met Eric. I just met Eric for the first time. I'd been hanging out with Ethan a lot because we were literally neighbors in Glendale at the time. And then to have a song come together, I think any musician can relate to trying to collaborate with someone and it's just not really gelling, it's not vibing. And we just like built something in one sitting. It was so exciting. But I would say the song The Gym is the one that I had the most fun writing because I think it was the most difficult song that we've written. And it took like three or four different forms before it landed where it did for the record, which you can hear. as it stands. But I mean, it was really tricky to try to crack that code. It was like a puzzle of a storytelling song. And so when it came together, it was so satisfying. And now that seems to be a song that a lot of people vibe with when we play it live, which is cool.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Is there an artist or song that you consider to be the gold standard when it comes to songwriting and storytelling?
Whoa,
Oh,
another great question.
banger
Really
after
solid.
banger question.
It's funny because we get a lot of really specific questions because of the nature of our super strange band. But these are really bullseye questions. This is what I'm talking about. Way
Thank
more
you.
interesting. Yeah. I mean,
Damn.
my brain immediately went to the Beatles when you first were talking about the gold standard for
Who is
song.
that?
What's up?
Who is that?
The Beatles. I was just thinking about like, oh, okay, what Beatles song is like the gold
Mm.
standard for songwriting? But then you threw in the gold standard for storytelling and songwriting, and now I'm like thrown for a loop a little bit. I'm not sure. I mean, we reference Albuquerque sometimes by Weird Al, um, because it's just a crazy, tornado of storytelling. Um, I don't know. Tom Bones, you got one?
It's funny. I mean, Albuquerque is what I was gonna say too, because that was the earliest song that I can remember hearing as a kid, being like, I didn't know you could do this with a song. And I think a lot of our songs spin pretty crazy 5 minute stories, even though Albuquerque is like 9 minutes or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think on the sincere side, just as a songwriter from a songwriting perspective.
Oh, you know what is a great and totally deserved to be like number one in a bajillion countries, I think, was the Wheatus song. What's that song? Teenage
Teenage
Dirtbag.
Dirtbag.
Teenage Dirtbag has a good story to it where it's all from the perspective of the guy and he's really likes the girl, but she doesn't know he exists. And then in the bridge, we get that beautiful perspective shift where now it's the girl saying, like, I see you. I want to go see Iron Maiden with you. I'm a dirtbag like you. And that's
Mm.
like a goosebumps moment, you know? Um, but yeah, I
I-
don't
I've got one too, I think.
kick it.
Uh, Very different than Teenage Dirtbag, but there's a song by Ben Folds, who is one of my favorite songwriters, period, called The Luckiest, which is a very, very sappy, sad, goosebumpy song that just tells the story about a man falling in love and then about a couple that grows old that he lived near. And one day, um, one of them passes away, and then a couple days later, the other one passes away in their sleep because they're just like in love, and that's all they needed in life. And the way that he tells the story, I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it. The way that he tells the story is just like very, it always gets me. And it's not a comedy song, it's the opposite of a comedy song, but I love that song and I love the storytelling in it.
Okay, wait, I got another one. I don't know if you wanted 19 answers, but uh 7 Days by Sting. Sting wrote this song that's also just a crazy musical song, but in the storytelling, it's all about this guy who was given 7 days to propose to this woman, and she's gonna if he doesn't propose to her, she's gonna marry this other guy. So it's a great song. I love that song. And then, of course, besides that, I gotta go Lenny Kravitz, American Woman. No, that one's not. That one doesn't count. It's not a story song.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love writing lyrics, and so I always love hearing other people's inspirations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so who are your comedic inspirations?
I mean, I think we all love. Do we both say I mean?
Yeah. You
Schmucks.
gonna say Tenacious D?
Well, I was gonna just caveat the whole like musical comedy inspirations because the question was comedic inspirations. And so
Mm.
besides music comedy, I would say, at least for me when I was little, like I loved Jim Carrey movies. Um, and I mean, I loved Robin Williams, and Chris Rock, and um, I don't know. Just I mean, there's so many. There's like a million. I mean, I love Maria Bamford. I love I love comedy. What can I tell you?
He's a big comedy guy.
Big comedy guy.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's definitely more targeted towards the musical comedy as far as band inspiration goes. Tenacious D, Weird Al, Bo Burnham,
Sandler,
Flight of the Conchords, Adam Sandler. Um,
uh,
yeah, I mean,
Ilvis. Do you know? Do you know?
Elvis,
Do you
don't
know
know.
Ilvis, Maya?
Sorry, what?
Do you know Ilvis? Lvis?
I don't.
I'm gonna send you some
We're,
stuff.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
we'll send you a couple songs. There's like
Thank
if they
you.
did that song, you might subconsciously know what does the fox say? Remember that
Oh,
song a few years
yeah.
ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was them. And that is, I would honestly argue, one of their less funny songs compared to some of their other stuff. They're so smart and the production is incredible. And they kind of hit a lot of the notes that we try to hit as a comedy band, which is like incredible songs about really, really dumb, silly stuff. They do that so well. I think you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to them.
Hmm.
Yep. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, you're gonna lose it. They're incredible.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there's so many comedians that I love that just always make me like cry from laughing so hard, and one of them is definitely John Mulaney. And my family and I actually we saw him live a couple years ago, which was the coolest thing. And we all were just like crying. We were laughing so hard.
Yeah, he's
Have you been
incredible.
watching his show, Everybody's Live?
I have, yeah,
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 he's great.
Great show.
he is, yeah. I love him.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll tell him for you. No, we don't know him.
Oh, well, thank you.
John, come on out.
A little surprise for you, Maya.
John Mulaney in this very, very warm studio. And
So if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Man, that's really good too. I mean, it'd have to be something like morning dumb stuff approaching or stupidity stupidity galore. Um I assume I don't know. That would be
yeah,
my first guess.
warning, all of this music is generally about a certain type of really, really awful guy.
Yeah.
A lot of our songs tell stories about this, not necessarily the same guy, but like an archetype of just a really awful, uh, piece of trash guy. And we think that's so funny.
Warning,
Uh,
men exist.
yeah, warning. Yeah, exactly. There are men in the world. Heads up. Um,
Heads up.
Yeah,
big heads
I
up.
love those.
You may know some.
I love those.
Yeah.
We can get those printed professionally at the end of this call, or
Yes, I think so.
Great.
okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am pop culture obsessed, if you can't tell by my wall. And I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
Yeah, definitely. We are the same. We're always talking about what we're watching and recommending stuff to each other. we're also like super film obsessed, and we're like literally trying to get a thing together now where we have a reason to get together and watch movies. Like we want to like rent out a theater once a month and have like a Wolves cinema night so that we can just like try out a new song maybe and then just like show a movie because all the time that we spend together is like writing and rehearsing, but we love just hanging and watching stuff like, we used to when the band first started. But yeah, I mean, I'm watching The Sopranos for like maybe the fourth time. I don't know why I just keep starting it from the beginning and watching it again, but that's been my obsession lately.
Classic. I recently finished kind of late to the party, the rehearsal season two, which I thought was absolutely incredible for a million reasons. I think Nathan Fielder is a genius. Um, and then I'm about to finish the studio on Apple TV, which I also think is like so exciting to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
studio is awesome.
Yeah, I love the studio. Um,
So fun, right?
yeah, it is.
I'm also halfway through Andor season two, which I've been loving.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I recently watched The Waterfront on Netflix.
Oh,
Um
Don't know that.
that- oh, it's really good. I highly recommend that show.
the waterfront. Okay.
I will make a note of that. Speaking of Netflix, I don't know if you guys saw, but yesterday they dropped a new shark documentary called Shark Whisperer, which I'm
Whoa.
gonna watch tonight.
I have not heard of that. Let's go.
Yeah,
I saw that. I don't like sharks, so I don't.
You're gonna
this
have
has
an
been
up.
really fun, Maya. I'll see you later.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tom,
yeah.
you're gonna have an uphill climb now with Tom.
So, Maya, I would say that this show, from what I understand, I only saw the trailer and a buddy told me about it. This might be the perfect show because it's all about sharks being misunderstood. And there's this woman that is literally like living her life swimming with sharks, trying to get people to reframe them from the Jaws perspective. But that's the last I'll say about it because I could go on this for a while.
Okay. Well, that is interesting.
That
You're
is
very kind
interesting.
to.
No
That's
thanks.
interesting. That's interesting. I'm never going to watch that. Moving on.
Yeah. No,
Still has sharks in it. Bye.
I do like that she's uh yeah, that showing that they're like misunderstood, but I still don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
That's
Yeah.
100% totally fine.
Yeah, but thank you for explaining it.
No problem.
Yeah. Um, so what genre of movie would your life story be told as?
Whoa. Um, I mean, mine would have to be, you know, old school kung fu film. Jackie Chan, whoever the next Jackie Chan is, I guess would play me. And he's like, a taking down of mafia. No, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I guess like just a comedy, hopefully a comedy. I can't imagine it being told any other way.
Yeah. I
It's
kind of
pretty
like the Jackie
silly.
Chan Mafia directive. I think that's cool.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
sick if it's like just a normal, it's a kid from South Florida who's like not good enough at any sports to fulfill his dream of playing sports professionally. And so he kicks everyone's ass with a bunch of roundhouse kicks and stuff. That's cool.
And you're saying this, I feel like that's a little too close to your real life story.
Oh, that's
You know,
even okay.
your proficiency in roundhouse kicks and combat and
Hmm.
it's just not enough like a movie. It's just like you.
Yeah, so everything should be a metaphor, I guess. So instead of sports, it's the police academy. And instead of it's a bunch of like athletes that told me that I'm too slow and chonky and weak, it's the Yakuza.
We're talking.
Okay, cool.
And then mine would be like Singing in the Rain, a bunch of musical numbers, and then really like heavy production tap dancing
That's so good.
in every stage of my life.
But what's the plot? Give me like the overarching plot point here.
Plot, the year is 1952, and there's a small family of six living in the suburbs of New Jersey. And my dad works at a pork producing company that make pork roll. And he's trying to get me into the family business, but I say, no, I don't. I don't like the smell of pork. I can't be around that much pork all the time. You seem to like pork, but it's not for me. I prefer, running outside, playing with my friends and dancing. And one day in the assembly line, I start tapping my feet to the sound of the conveyor belt because it's making like a rhythmic thing. And then all of a sudden, all the workers on the pork line, they start looking at me. They say, hey, this kid's got something. And then there happens to be a billionaire that's touring the facility because he's going to try to buy it. And he sees me and he says, you've got talent. Come with me to New York on Broadway. And then I star in a Broadway musical and I become the tap dancing kid. That's what the movie's called, the tap dancing
So
kid.
it's so good.
Thanks.
Man,
Yeah, I love those. Yeah, I
that's
love
You're
that
amazing.
you
very,
thought about it too. I love that.
That was fantastic. I'm a big fan of Tom's. I would definitely watch the tap dancing pork kid.
and I would watch the Yakuza athlete Cinderella story.
Yeah, thanks.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I would watch both of them. So
Right.
All right, let's get this thing into production.
We got two features in pre-production right now. This is sick.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I yeah, I want my life story to be both a musical and a rom-com. That's like
Oh,
my dream of.
that's great.
Mm, great idea.
I would love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, so, what is the biggest obstacle you've overcome?
As a human being or
Or
as
as
our
a
band?
band.
Yeah. Either.
Whoa.
Biggest obstacle that I've overcome.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind as the band, it's like both the biggest obstacle and the like most exciting thing that we've done, which is that the last tour that we did, which was sort of a double tour. We like opened for a band in the UK for 3 weeks, and then we like designed our whole headline tour for like 9 days, and then went on that tour, which was 5 weeks long. So it was like 8 out of 10 weeks of the end of the year, we were on the road and it was just us by ourselves in a van, just figuring out how to be on tour. And it was like the most pressure and the most stakes because we were playing like the biggest rooms we've ever played. And there was just a lot of moving parts and we were all exhausted. And it was just, yeah, it was like really, really tough, but we stuck together and supported each other and had a bunch of friends join us for like little uh, parts of the tour to open for us. These like stand-ups that we've known for a long time, and they definitely raised our spirits too. And through it all, we played all the shows, and except actually for like two, which we canceled because it was too scary to drive there because it was like frozen roads, and we were like, guys, we're just not gonna go. But
Actually,
besides that,
Maya, you would appreciate this being in Colorado. I think it was the I-80. We were making our way over to Salt Lake City, I think, which is
yeah,
obviously Utah, but that area of the country can be so crazy weather-wise. So that was spooky.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, definitely. There's Denver also is, yeah, the weather is like so unpredictable.
I think it
Mhm.
was after I think we played Denver, and then it was like, okay, now the next two shows you have to just drive up this icy mountain, and we were like, no, I don't know, I don't think so.
Yeah, and this was December too. It was like driving like from Colorado to Utah in December. Just it's crazy with a big van, and none of us drive a big van all the time, and we
There
don't
were these
drive those kind of conditions.
there was these like wind warnings, like I don't remember where it was like on our phone and stuff. It was telling us like, yeah, don't drive. It's like red, red, red warning. Do not wind will push your car over. And we were like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
extreme blowover risk, it kept saying.
Yeah.
Extreme blowover risk.
Seems scary. So we didn't
Yeah.
do that. We didn't overcome that, but we overcame everything else. So I'm very proud of us, and hopefully we won't ever have something like that again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is a very that is scary. Whenever I went to like just the other week, like I went to coffee with a friend, and as we were driving, it was like pouring rain and like these huge raindrops, and like it looked like um it looked like the street was like gonna be flooded. And then we went inside the coffee shop, and we were there for a little bit, and by the time we walked out it was sunny, and like you wouldn't have been able to tell it was like a torrential downpour just like an hour before. It was very strange.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so what is your favorite song to perform live?
Hmm. I think I would also say the gym. Like I said, it was the most fun to write, and I think it's still it's a song that I'm not tired of at all. I'm not really tired of a bunch of many songs that we play. Uh, but the gym, I always love getting to that, playing it. It's so fun.
Yeah, we normally will close the show with the gym, so there's also I think a feeling of like victory, we did it and we're all kind of celebrating together, which is really nice about playing that song. But yeah, it's I agree with Tom. It's just a super fun driving rock tune to play. And we sing a lot of three-part harmony in that song too, which is really fun. But I will say we have a new song called My Uncle Got a Hot Tub that I've been very much enjoying performing. It's another kind of upbeat number, and we've done it now like three times or four times. And it's also just super fun to see everybody's face light up when, they get the jokes as we're singing them. So I'm now every time we perform, I'm very much looking forward to that moment in the set.
Mm.
Oh, cool. I love that. Um, yeah, so what song always makes you want to roll down the windows and sing at the top of your lungs?
um,
Hmm. Hmm. I think recently for me, it's anything off of American Idiot by Green Day. I go in and out of phases with that album. I think it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And there's a song Saint Jimmy on there that if I'm like fresh off of a cold brew, if I've just finished a cold brew and it's like noon or one and I'm driving somewhere and it's sunny, windows are down and St. Jimmy is loud and I am belting that thing.
great response. Might agree with Tom on that, but I also have been in I think it's like early 2000s female pop country vibe a little bit. I kind of probably spread it to the guys for a second during one of our last shows. We were in the car all together getting coffee, and I really wanted to hear This Kiss. I just really love that song, and that's
Great
just
song.
such a nice sing-along tune. Um, but I mean, that's the way it is. Celine Dion has been in rotation. Um, and honestly, I was listening to that. There's two. Lady Gaga put out a new record that has some really great kind of belting tunes on it. And then I was listening to the new Marina record. There's a single she released called Contissimo that is really fantastic as well. So that's been my yell out the window songs lately, I think.
Oh, cool. I love that. Yeah, there's so many for me. Like there's really any like Macy Peters or Asher Angel songs I
Oh,
will uh just sing um at the top of my lungs. And there's a really And also, actually, also Tyler Posey, those artists, whenever I hear their songs.
Man, that's
I need
awesome.
to educate myself on almost all of them.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think of them.
We'll play it in the studio. We'll vibe out.
We'll listen today.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I would love to hear what you think.
Yeah. That could be just a cool ongoing series too, because we all love anything new, like just to hear new music that people suggest. So, Tom, that could be just a cool thing for us to do. Just be like get suggestions from people, and then we all listen, the three of us, and give our take.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that.
Maybe for
Okay,
Patreon, that could be a cool Patreon thing where we take like patrons are like, "Hey, this is the song of the week. You got to hear this." Then we listen to it live and talk about it. That'd be really fun.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be really fun to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you find to be the biggest challenge with creating music in the age of social media?
Phew,
I mean,
he's going deep.
yeah, it's the I think the nonstop assault of you could always be doing more to promote what you're doing. Um, and I think it's also there are little games that you have to play to appease the algorithm that I think really are annoying to all of us, not limited to this strategy that you see a lot of people do where if you release a single, you basically have to make like 15 videos promoting the chorus of that single over and over and over and over again. And it becomes less about the music or the art that you've made and more about how can I make something that's visually stimulating within the first 2 to 3 seconds to get people to stick around and listen to this thing that I'm very, very proud of. So it becomes almost less about the thing that you've made and more about the game that you can play to get people to discover you, which it all comes down to perspective. If you want to view it in a cynical way, that can be really annoying. If you want to view it as like this is just the state of social media, then cool. It can become like a gamified thing. But I think that's the most challenging part. It's just like it doesn't really feel natural to a lot of people, I think, including us.
Yeah, I'd say it makes it much more of a job. You got to do all the other kind of annoying, boring stuff, and yeah, put it out there all the time, like Tom's saying. Whereas Eric grew up where I grew up in South Florida, so I know I can speak for the two of us, but I'm sure Tom would agree. When we grew up, it was actually really cool to be mysterious. Nobody could find like anything about you, and that was part of the allure of like Radiohead or somebody, for example, where it's like they're just like, not in the public eye, and then an album would come out, and then you'd, oh my God, where did this album come from? And maybe there's a music video, of course, but in general, it's not, you would never, it was just rare, much more rare to like hear them talking about something, or definitely seeing them being silly, like never happened. You would never, it wouldn't, you wouldn't see Radiohead doing like a TikTok trend or something like that. But like if they were trying to come up now, it's almost like a requirement for the most part. I mean, some artists get away with it, and it's probably because they're just crazy talented. But like you see it all the time. All of these pop stars are so um, transparent, like they're so available online constantly. And I think that goes to what Tom's saying, which is just that like that's the state of the industry. You're not going to make $10 million selling records. You need 10 million followers, and you need, this whole other apparatus, which is like for the most part, and I think I speak for most just creatives in general, not even musicians or comedy songwriters, when I say like that's not why we do it. We do it to make our stuff, and we're motivated to make our stuff. We love making art, but we don't necessarily love branding the art and coming up with like different trendy ways to promote the art.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So what small things bring you joy on a daily basis?
Hmm. Much more soothing, cozy question here for me. Um, I was gonna start yelling about Instagram. Um, no, I mean, coffee. I love a coffee in the morning. I think that's another Tom and Eric thing as well. I mean, I love my cats. I love seeing them. I'll leave the house for 20 minutes and my wife will send me a photo of one of the cats and I love it. I go crazy for them. Um, I mean, playing tennis, I would say. I don't know if that counts as a small thing, but I love to play tennis. And um, yeah, maybe just watching old movies in a theater. I like going to see a movie that I've never seen in a theater that way.
I would also say the cup of coffee in the morning is the thing that like fills my well every day. And also the cup of coffee in the afternoon, which I almost never miss. I love that. Ethan gives me heat for that sometimes. She's like, "Why are you drinking a second cold brew? It's 2 o'clock." And I say, "Back up." And uh I think another thing that brings me joy, I love getting in the afternoon specifically when I get a little sleepy, just standing in the sun for a little bit. I know that sounds a little like crunchy, but sometimes I'll take my shirt off and just like go stand in the street and just like absorb some sun for like 5 minutes, and I almost always feel better. Take a lap around the a block and get some sun. Recently, I've been into not bringing my phone at all with me anytime that I'm outside, so I can just like walk around and just listen to things and notice things that I haven't noticed before, even though I've walked the same block like 100 times. Making a more conscious effort of doing that, that makes me really happy. It brings me a lot of joy.
Oh, I love those.
What about you, Maya? What are your small joys?
Oh, I think spending time with whenever I can spend time with like my mom and my sister whenever we're all together. Um, that always makes me really happy. And spending time with my dog and like binge watching a show that I love, or like one of my comfort shows. Interviews bring me a lot of joy connecting with people. So, yeah.
Yeah, not this one, but other ones for sure.
No, this one is
Whoa,
definitely bringing me a lot of joy. So, thank you.
Okay, good.
you're very welcome.
Yeah. Um, what subject could you give a TED Talk on, even though you are totally unqualified on that subject?
Damn, that's also fun.
So, like, what subject could we kind of bull crap our way through?
Yeah,
Sounds
I mean, most things, honestly.
yeah. Trying to pick one that would be fun for me.
I mean, I would probably say sharks, to be honest. Like,
Hmm.
I love sharks, but I don't really know a lot of the nitty-gritty science or biology behind them. I know a couple buzzword things. Other than that, I just love the vibe, and I always have since I was a kid. But you can't really give a TED talk based on vibe. You got to know what you're saying. So I think my answer would be sharks, specifically hammerhead sharks.
Mine would be sneaker design. I don't know anything about it, but there's something I just feel like I could put up like 100 slides of different shoes and just say why this one works and why this one's not cool.
Oh, I love those. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just have one final question for you. Um, I love inspiring and motivational quotes.
Hmm.
And this week, the one that spoke to me is "Look at you, living proof that even the storm couldn't drown the fire in you." Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Hmm.
Wow.
It's a great quote.
Um, I mean, the other day, Tom said, "Don't worry about it, Ethan. It's not a big deal. I do dumb stuff like that all the time." And that helps. That was helpful for
And
me.
yeah, that's kind of like on the level of any inspirational speaker that you might get a quote from.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
helpful.
there's one that I think is useful for bands and being in a band and life in general. I think that I like, which is if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I think that um, yeah, that's true in a lot of different lanes in life. I think the minute that you allow yourself to ask for help or lean on friends and family for support, everything gets easier, even though that seems to be one of the hardest things to do sometimes for me, and I think for a lot of people to be vulnerable and ask for help. The moment that you like allow yourself to do that, I think the world kind of opens up.
Fantastic. I love that. I think that's brilliant. I'm going to stick with my Tom quote instead of trying to come up with something better than that. Um, so yeah,
I love those. Yeah. Um, well, that was my final question for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I've had the best time talking with you.
no, it was an absolute joy. Thank you for having us on here. And uh, on behalf of Eric, we all really appreciate being invited and getting to talk to you.
Thanks, Maya. This is really fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I've had the best time talking with you. You've made my day.
Oh,
Oh, you made ours, and your questions are really fun and unique. I think like 90% of those we have not been asked before. So thank you for asking really fun questions.
yeah.
Oh,
Totally
thank
agree
you
with
so
Tom. We haven't been asked that stuff, and it was just superior. It was just way better questions than stuff we've been asked. You won't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
the infantile stuff that gets thrown our way. This was really, really like thought provoking and fun.
Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me to
Oh,
hear. So thank you.
yeah,
No problem.
Um, and I hope you both have a great rest of your day.
Thank
thanks.
you.
You too.
Thank you. Um, and that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest to Admire.